Hey, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all of the praises and the glory to the Most High and the Son, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai Bashim Abakar Kodash, and double honor to the apostles of the great note stone, and as well as giving salutations and ref towards you rocking out that is forwarding this ministry out of sincerity worldwide, and shalom to the Akyam Walk Yam as well. And I just want to get into this particular system which they're going to be setting up, right? And it's to do with what the Uniform Law Commission, which they've posted amendments with comments, right? Which I'm reading from ThompsonsReuters.com, Practical Law. So as it reads, on November the 17th, 2022, the Uniform Law Commission, ULC, posted the Uniform Commercial Code. And this is something that I don't really know too much about, or at all. I don't know anything about this at all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the meaning of this to also show you, brothers and sisters out here that's watching this as well, what it means. You know, some of you brothers may have came across this information, or maybe not. So the Uniform Commercial Code, UCC, is a comprehensive set of laws governing all commercial transactions in the United States. So what they've said on this article here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to get to the point. I'm going to get to the point. Just bear me for 1 minute. So this is what they're saying, right? The 2022 UCC amendments drafted by the UOC in partnership with America's Law Institute address the emerging technologies and provide the new rules for commercial transactions involving in virtual currencies, distributed ledger technology, and DLT, which is blockchain, AI, and other technological developments. And earlier I've been getting into some articles concerning the SMB Bank fraud, which most of us did that. And basically, it wasn't just the SMB Bank that collapsed; it was other banks too. Like you had Silvergate and the Signature Bank. And all of those three banks in combination had an effect on the Credit Suisse Bank as well. So in the midst of all of that, while we were distracted on that regard, there were other things that were being put in place. Or there's other things being put in place while that's been going on. Like I did a video, I think it was like a brief video that I did, and it was about the Fed announcing or re-announcing, because they've announced it back in 2019, and we didn't really know about that. I don't think a lot of us knew about that. And what Fed now is, which is what the Fed was re-announcing, is the fact that on Fed now you can actually get involved in that system and pretty much receive instant payments. And then what they've also said is they said that it's equivalent to the CBDC setting. It's not the actual thing, of course, but it's equivalent to it. So while they done all of that, so while they were showing us the collapsing of the banks and stuff like that, which is many more that's going to collapse, which is what economists analysis are now predicting, which is, they're also, one of them is predicting that a fourth bank is going to collapse as well. So anyway, what I was saying was, while that was going on, and while that's still kind of happening today, probably, right, with the banks collapsing, we'll have to wait and see if there's going to be more current collapsing of these different banks. Like I said, they're setting up systems in a way to prepare the world for the new digital creation, and everyone's going to be under that new system where you're going to be caught up into the grid. And we already know that that eventually you're going to have to receive some kind of implantable device to correspond with that digital set. All right, and we know that Esau, at the end of the day, he wants to be a god. That's what these people want. They want to be gods, controlling your life and accessing every aspect of information about you. And you know, that can include, you know, data that has something to do with, you know, your heart rate, you know, your brain waves, and you know what you're thinking, and stuff like that. So they're gonna have the information about you, but they will also want to have inner data about you too. And with these implantable devices, they do a lot of way left things to you, man. They can control your mind. They can do all various miscellaneous things to you. I'm gonna just put it to you that way. So I want to read this. This is Isaiah 32 and verse 7. The instruments also of the churl, which the term churl means someone that's a scoundrel. And you know, these devils have been proven to be scoundrels. The way they've been operating out here historically and as well as currently. I'm really talking about the Edomites, which the Edomites of today are the so-called Caucasians. They also call themselves Europeans and all that. These are the people that are part of that elk. They that are of the wicked. So they're pretty much the churl that the scriptures is talking about. In other words, the scoundrel. And guess what? It reads, are evil and devises wicked devices to destroy the poor with lying words. And how do they lie to the people? They speak smoothly. Like they have your best interests at heart. Yeah, we're going to do this. Yeah, we're going to do that. And the reason why we're going to set up these systems is to basically make life easier and to include those that don't have any bank accounts and all of this stuff. Digital ID thing, right? I was reading a little bit about that some time ago. And they do all of this stuff just to get you trapped into their pit. Which I remember the elder apostle Gavan brought this out about the word pit, or the word system means pit. And that's what the serpent, the old serpent, that was in a garden, right? Which the garden, Eastern in Eden, was basically referring to the eastern part of the earth, because that's the name of the earth, which is Eden. Which the word Eden is Idon, which means paradise. So within that region, the serpent, which really was a man, but he was, you know, wise to deceive. What did he do? He deceived Eve first, beguiled Eve, and as well as Adam took hold of the philosophies on that Eve was beguiled under. Right? So Esau is trying to spread his philosophies and have you come under those philosophies to destroy yourselves in the process. So what he's now doing, he's setting up these psychological collaborations to forward his agenda and to get you hip through his agenda. And he's lying to you in the midst. So let me read this one more time. So the instruments also of the churl are evil, and he deviseth wicked devices to destroy the poor with lying words, even when the needy speaketh right. And speaking of speaking right, we're in a world where you can't even basically say what you want to say. You can't even be fully expressive about what you really feel about certain things and about certain people. Like you have to choke it, you have to almost choke yourself to death to prevent yourself from speaking the wrong thing. You may be at the job, and you may be like, yo, you may be thinking to yourself, man, I wonder if I said the wrong thing. I wonder if I'm going to get in trouble, or whatever comes to your mind, because you want to, you want to uphold your job, right? You want to live easy, so you don't want to hurt nobody's feelings. Because people have begun to become so sensitive nowadays, man. Like, we live in a very unmanly world today. Like, I remember when I was younger, when I was like, maybe in my, maybe my early teens, like, you could call you could call someone any name you want. You got into a fight, you moved on. Simple as that. But out here, you got to be extra careful in what you say to people. And that's going to be also capped as well, of you being able to express yourself. Okay? So Esau's going to pass all kind of laws and legislations even on that regard to prohibit you from having to speak freely as well. So yeah, man, let's go and get something else. And let's read this over here. 2 Corinthians. Excuse me. Yeah. 2 Corinthians 2:11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. Let me read that again. 2 Corinthians 2 verse 11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. And that's just the thing. We're not ignorant of his thoughts and his plans and his ideas. We're very privy to what he's doing. We've been researching this devil ever since we've been in this truth.